Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Uriel, LCP Independent News, Jerusalem, Israel. Madam, what is your name?
Tamar.
Tamar. And are you Jewish?
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, yes.
Baruch Hashem, you're Jewish. Baruch Hashem, we are Jewish. My question to you this afternoon is, what do you think of a so-called Palestine?
It's written, הארץ כולה של הקדוש ברוך הוא, ורצונו נותנה לכם, ורצונו לקחה מכם ונותנה לכם. So, he's the boss.
So you're saying that this land that is sacred was given to us as Jews and no one else?
Right, yeah. But still, the boss is Kodesh Baruch Hu, and he can decide to give to in other times.
But I can quote to you what the book of Devarim says. Devarim says not to negotiate the land with no one.
Right.
So if you're talking about God or Hashem can give the land to whom He chooses, we understand that. But we must also understand that there's an everlasting covenant with the Jewish nation, and that is Israel. So the land was allotted to us. Are you willing to give your land to the so-called Palestinians for so-called peace?
No, and you can't give someone else something that doesn't belong to you. And Israel belongs to God, to Kodesh Baruch Hu, so I can't give something that it's not mine.
Exactly, I understand that. But you know what happened in Gush Katif? In Gush Katif, over 10,000 families were displaced, and as you know, since the people from Gush Katif were taken away from their home, over 11,000 rockets have been fired towards Israel in the south. And these people are being terrorized by so-called peace. What do you think about that?
Well, you can't do peace with one side, so there's no one to negotiate about it.
And we know that Haniyeh, the leader of so-called Hamas in Gaza, wants no peace. Haniyeh has stated that he wants to destroy the entire nation of Israel. We just got back Gilad Shalit after being 5 years in being held hostage in Gaza, and they were celebrating the so-called release of so-called terrorists in Gaza and Ramallah. What do you think about that?
I tell you what I told you before. There's one guy. Everything he's doing is just the right thing, and it's for us. And when you look at it with nature eyes, you can talk about it for hours and hours, but the truth is that we believe that everything is really for us, and it's just for the best for us. And what he's doing is just for us. That's it.
So we are facing a bigger threat now, named Ahmadinejad from Iran. He has already built a nuclear site, and the so-called atomic agency just announced that he is trying to produce uranium to develop weapons of mass destruction like nuclear bombs. And he has said, Ahmadinejad, that he will fire his rocket as far as Tel Aviv. What would you say about that?
It's written in the Bible, it's Yitzhak blessing, that when Yaakov gonna go up, so Esav gonna go down, and the opposite. When Yaakov doesn't do what God tells him, so Esav got the power to destroy and do all the worst things here. So what we have to do really is to start to fixing inside this nation and not waste too much energy about what's going on around there. There's threats on Israel all the time.
Now, and I'll final this with a quick footnote. The book of Devarim in chapter 7, I believe it is, it said that the land of Israel was given as an eternal covenant by Hashem, the God of Israel. And we are not to negotiate the land of Israel. I will tell the world that this land was given to us not just by the so-called United Nations in 1948. This land was given to us 5,000 years ago. And this land is ours, and we, Jews, we will not negotiate the land of Israel. This is Uriel, LCP Independent News, Jerusalem, Israel. Shalom.